Today, we are going to discuss about the trigonometric functions of a right triangle. But first, what is right triangle? A right triangle is a triangle which one angle is a right angle. Right triangle has three sides. These are the hypotenuse, adjacent, and the opposite. We can easily determine the hypotenuse because it has the longest side among the right triangle. So how can we determine the side if it is an opposite or an adjacent? Simply, adjacent is the nearest to the angle, while the opposite is across from the angle. Right triangle definitions of trigonometric functions. Let theta be an acute angle in a right triangle. The six trigonometric functions are defined as follows. Sin theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. In cotangent theta, it is only the reciprocal of tangent, which is adjacent over hypotenuse. Secant theta is the reciprocal of cosine, which is hypotenuse over adjacent, and cosecant theta is the reciprocal of sine, which is hypotenuse over opposite. So here we have the examples of a right triangle that can be found in our houses. We have sofa, wall edge, and a ladder that is leaning against the wall. Next, we will be solving some problems connected with these things. The outside height of the sofa measures 75 centimeters. What is the angle of elevation if the outside depth of a sofa measures 43 centimeters? Based on the question, we have to use the formula of tangent, which is tangent theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. Since our opposite is the 75 centimeter outside height of the sofa and adjacent is the 43 centimeters outside depth, well, we have to find the value for the angle of elevation. So here is the solution. Tan A is equal to 75 over 43. Next, we have to divide 75 over 43. So we have tan A equals 1.7441866074. Transpose the tangent, and it will become tangent raised to the power of negative 1 times 1.7441866074. So the answer will be 60.17291535. Round off to two decimal places and our final answer is 60.17 degrees. Therefore, the angle of elevation if the outside depth of a sofa measures 43 centimeters is 60.17 degrees.
An ant wishes to determine the height of a brown painted part of the wall. He measures a distance of 6 centimeters from where he stands to the corner of the wall. Then he determines the angle of elevation of the top of the brown painted part of the wall. This angle is measured 32 degrees. How tall is the brown painted part of the wall? First, analyze the problem. Observe the illustration above. Find the value of x given the angle and the adjacent. The value of the adjacent and the angle was already given, so this leaves us with two sides left. But the question asked is that the height of the brown painted wall, which is the opposite. To find the value of the opposite, we need to first determine what trigonometric function will be used. Now, based on the SOHCAHTOA technique, pick the function that includes the side that has the value given and the side that you're looking for the known value. So in this problem, we are given the value of the adjacent and we're looking for the value of the opposite or the x unit. Therefore, we will use the tangent function, where tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Substitute the value of theta and adjacent to the function. So, tangent 32 is equal to x over 6 centimeters. Proceed to cross multiply. Now we have x is equals to 6 times tangent 32. Solve this with your calculator to find the value of x. After that, now we have the value of x, which is equals to 3.75. Therefore, the length of the brown painted part of the wall is 3.75 centimeters. So here's the second question. From the problem above, find the measurement of the hypotenuse. In this problem, we need to determine the length of the hypotenuse, which is the y unit. Given the value of the adjacent, which is 6 centimeters, and the angle of 32 degrees, we will use the cosine function to determine the value of y. It is because cosine theta is equal to the ratio of the length of the adjacent side to the length of the hypotenuse. So, cosine 32 is equal to 6 over y, where 6 is the adjacent and y is the unknown value of the hypotenuse. Now we will cross multiply. So 6 equals to cosine 32 times y. Next, we will divide both sides by cosine 32. This gives the equation of y is equals to 6 over cosine 32. Now get your calculator and solve for the value of y. So y is equal to 7.7,507,042 millions. Rounded off, we will get 7.7 as the value of y.
A 5-foot ladder leans against a basketball ring so that the angle of between the ground and the ladder is 70 degrees. How high does the ladder reach on the basketball ring? So, use sine function to solve how high the ladder can reach the building. Sine 70 degrees equals opposite over 5 foot. Then substitute it. So, opposite equals 5 foot times sine 70 degrees equals 4.70 foot. The ladder can reach approximately 4.70 foot on the basketball ring.
Right triangle is an enormous number of uses in our daily life. These are used by carpenters to make sure the walls are aligned properly and the corners of the ceiling are even. It is also important in constructing staircases, where these are mostly built with a right-angled triangle. The Pythagorean theorem relates the lengths of sides of the right triangle. Right triangle also plays an important role in the field of engineering. Its concepts serve as their guide in construction of different infrastructures and use the formulas in measurement. As one of the most important fields of mathematics, particularly for careers that are built around calculating angles or working knowledge of right triangle, and its uses are important for students of all ages. Right triangle is only professions, but there are more examples of right triangle. These examples can usually be seen around us, just like staircases, shadow of a tree or a post, the foot of the bridge, and many more. There are also things that are right triangle shape that is useful for students, such as set square ruler. By these examples, we can realize that right triangles doesn't only apply in mathematics. We can also recognize and appreciate the use of right triangle in everyday life. That's all. Thank you.